the gift of music. Anna loved music more than anything. She loved listening to her favorite songs, humming along with the melodies, and tapping her feet to the rhythms. She dreamed of playing an instrument someday, but she never had the opportunity. Her family was poor and could not afford to buy her one, let alone pay for lessons. Anna did not let that stop her from enjoying music. She would go to the library and borrow books about music theory, history, and composers. She would watch videos of musicians performing online and try to imitate their movements with her fingers. She would make up her own tunes in her head and sing them softly to herself. One day, as she was walking home from school, she saw a poster on a bulletin board. It said Music Scholarship Contest. Do you have a passion for music? Do you want to learn how to play an instrument? Enter our contest, and you could win a full scholarship to the prestigious Academy of Music. To enter, submit a video of yourself performing a piece of music on any instrument. The deadline is July 31st. The winner will be announced on August 15th. Anna felt a surge of excitement and hope. This was her chance to make her dream come true. She ran home and told her parents about the contest. They were happy for her, but also worried. Anna, we're proud of you for wanting to pursue your passion, but how are you going to enter the contest? You don't have an instrument, her mother said. I know, Mom, but maybe I can borrow one from someone. Or maybe I can find one at a thrift store or a garage sale. There has to be a way, Anna said. Even if you find an instrument, how are you going to learn how to play it in such a short time? You've never had any lessons, her father said. I know, Dad, but I've read a lot of books and watched a lot of videos. I have some basic knowledge of music theory and notation. And I have a good ear and a lot of determination. I can do this, Anna said. Her parents looked at each other and sighed. They knew their daughter was stubborn and optimistic. They did not want to discourage her, but they also did not want her to be disappointed. All right, Anna, we'll support you in any way we can. But please don't get your hopes up too high. This contest is very competitive and there are probably thousands of entries from all over the country. The chances of winning are very slim, her mother said. I know, Mom, but I have to try. You never know what can happen if you don't try, Anna said. She hugged her parents and thanked them for their encouragement. She then went to her room and started planning how to enter the contest. She searched online for cheap or free instruments that were available in her area. She found a few options, but none of them were ideal. Some were broken or missing parts, some were too expensive or too far away, some were already taken or reserved by someone else. She decided to ask around at school if anyone had an instrument they could lend or sell to her. She asked her friends, classmates, teachers, and even the janitor. She got some leads, but none of them worked out either. Some people did not have an instrument at all. Some had one but did not want to part with it. Some had one but it was in bad condition or incompatible with her preferences. She was starting to lose hope when she remembered that there was a music store near her school. She had never been inside it before because she knew she could not afford anything there, but maybe they had something she could use. She decided to go there after school and see if they had any instruments for rent or sale that fit her budget and skills. She walked into the store and was greeted by a friendly clerk. Hello. Welcome to Music World. How can I help you today? He asked. Hi. I'm looking for an instrument that I can use for a contest, Anna said. A contest? What kind of contest? The clerk asked. It's a music scholarship contest. I have to submit a video of myself performing a piece of music on any instrument by July 31st, Anna said. Wow, that sounds exciting. What instrument do you play? The clerk asked. Well, actually, I don't play any instrument yet. But I really want to learn, Anna said. The clerk looked surprised and confused. You don't play any instrument yet? Then how are you going to enter the contest? He asked. I'm hoping to find an instrument here that I can rent or buy for a low price and learn how to play it in a few weeks, Anna said. The clerk shook his head and smiled. I admire your enthusiasm, but I'm afraid that's not realistic. Learning how to play an instrument takes time and practice. You can't just pick one up and expect to master it in a few weeks, especially if you want to perform a piece of music that's worthy of a scholarship, he said. Anna felt a pang of disappointment and frustration. But I have to try. Music is my passion and my dream. I've always wanted to play an instrument, but I never had the chance. This contest is my only opportunity to make it happen. Please, can you help me? She pleaded. The clerk looked at her with sympathy and compassion. I'm sorry, kid, but I don't think I can. All the instruments we have here are either too expensive or too advanced for you. You need something that's suitable for beginners, but also affordable and available. And I don't think we have anything like that here, he said. He paused and thought for a moment. Wait a minute, there might be one thing. Follow me, he said. He led her to the back of the store, where there was a storage room. He opened the door and turned on the light. Here we are. This is where we keep the old and unwanted instruments that nobody buys or rents. They're either damaged, outdated, or unpopular. We usually sell them for scrap or donate them to charity. But maybe you'll find something here that you can use, he said. He gestured to the shelves and boxes that were filled with various instruments of different shapes and sizes. Feel free to look around and see if anything catches your eye. But don't get your hopes up too high. Most of these instruments are not worth much, if anything at all, he said. He left her alone in the room and went back to his work. Anna looked around the room with curiosity and excitement. She felt like she was in a treasure hunt. She started browsing through the instruments, hoping to find something that would suit her needs. She saw guitars with broken strings, flutes with bent keys, drums with torn skins, keyboards with missing keys, violins with cracked bodies, trumpets with dented bells, saxophones with leaky pads, clarinets with chipped reeds, and more. She picked up some of them and tried to play them, but they either made no sound or made horrible noises. She put them back and moved on to the next ones. She was about to give up when she saw something that caught her eye. It was a small wooden box with a handle on one side and buttons on the other. It had a strap attached to it that looked like it could be worn around the neck or shoulder. She picked it up and examined it. It looked old and worn, but also intriguing and charming. She pressed some of the buttons and heard a faint sound coming from inside the box. It sounded like an accordion, but smaller and softer. She wondered what it was called and how it worked. She decided to ask the clerk about it. She walked out of the storage room and approached the clerk at the counter. "Excuse me, sir, can you tell me what this is?" she asked, holding up the box. The clerk looked at it and smiled. "Ah, That's an old concertina. It's a type of free reed instrument that produces sound by squeezing and releasing air through metal reeds inside the box. You play it by pressing the buttons on both sides while moving the handle in and out, he explained. A concertina? I've never heard of it before. Is it hard to play? Anna asked. Well, it depends on what kind of concertina it is. There are different types of concertinas with different layouts of buttons and notes. Some are easier than others. The one you have there is an Anglo concertina. It has 20 buttons on each side, arranged in 2 rows of 10 each. Each button produces 2 notes, one when you squeeze the handle inwards, and another when you release it outwards, he said. That sounds complicated, Anna said. It can be at first, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad. The Anglo concertina is actually one of the more popular types of concertinas because it's versatile and expressive. You can play melodies, chords, rhythms, and even harmonies on it. It's also good for playing folk music, especially Irish music, he said. Irish music. I love Irish music, Anna exclaimed. Really? Then you might enjoy playing the concertina. It's a common instrument in Irish music, along with the fiddle, flute, whistle, bodhrán, harp, guitar, banjo, mandolin, etc. He said. Wow. That sounds amazing. Can you teach me how to play it? The clerk looked at Anna and smiled. Sure. I can teach you how to play it. But I have to warn you, it won't be easy. You'll have to practice a lot and work hard. And you'll have to pay me for the lessons and the instrument, he said. Anna felt a surge of joy and gratitude. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. How much do I have to pay you? She asked. The clerk thought for a moment. Well, the concertina is not worth much, since it's old and damaged. I'll sell it to you for 500 rupees. And the lessons will cost you 100 rupees per hour. How does that sound? He asked. Anna did some quick calculations in her head. She had 2,000 rupees saved up from her birthday and allowance money. She could afford to buy the concertina and take 4 hours of lessons. That would leave her with 300 rupees for other expenses. She nodded and agreed to the deal. Okay, sir, I'll take it. And I'll take 4 hours of lessons from you. When can we start? She asked. The clerk checked his schedule. How about tomorrow? I have some free time in the afternoon. You can come here at 2 p.m. and we'll begin, he said. Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. You're very kind and generous, Anna said. She handed him the money and took the concertina. She put the strap around her neck and held the box in her hands. She felt a warm and happy feeling in her chest. She thanked the clerk again and left the store. She walked home with a spring in her step and a song in her heart. She couldn't wait to start learning how to play the concertina and enter the contest. She hoped that this would be the beginning of a new chapter in her life. A chapter filled with music and magic.